Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. First of all, before we start this reading today, I'd just like to let you know that we are having load shedding again in South Africa. South Africa, the failed state. Can't manage to keep the lights on, so if my postings are a bit erratic at the moment, I do apologize. It's difficult for me sometimes to record, sometimes to upload. I'm doing the best that I can, and please just bear with me. So, having got that out of the way, today's reading is about Meghan Markle and the bench. And I'm sure that you saw her in her comfy chair, not a bench, in her garden, allegedly in Montecito, reading the entire work for Penguin Random House's YouTube channel, children's YouTube channel. I have to say that I watched that performance. It was a very slick performance, I must say that, even though she was wearing a denim shirt and about £500,000 or dollars, I'm not sure which, of jewelry. So a slight contrast there. And she does manage to get it wrong every time, in my opinion, of course. But I listened. And I really have to say that I found it difficult to understand what she was on about quite often. And I'm a reasonably intelligent, grown woman. And so what the tinies think of it, I have no idea. And, you know, what's wrong with the cat in the hat, really. But anyway, so I watched it. I suffered through it. And it does seem as if she's been wheeled out by the publishers to earn her keep, because apparently the book has fallen out of the top 100 on Amazon. Sales have slumped. If sales ever rose, I doubt very much. She did have those piles of books on her desk in that infamous birthday presentation with Melissa McCarthy. She does seem to be dishing out the books in large quantities to unsuspecting recipients. And apparently it's a bit of a tax dodge. Some people are saying that's a tax write-off. I wouldn't know, but apparently so. And it does reek rather of desperation, this being wheeled out by the publisher to read the book on YouTube. And not that everything on YouTube reeks of desperation. Let me just quickly put that in there for you. But this does seem to reek of desperation. So I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross, and before I start, let me show you the deck, because I know I've used it in the past and you did enjoy it. And this is the Santa Muerte Tarot, and let's hope that you can read it this time. It is very shiny there. You can catch it. Santa Muerte Tarot. It is that's the top of the deck. Maybe you can read it better there. And it is Halloween season, so I thought it would be appropriate that possibly we are looking at the death of Meghan's career as an author with this rather pitiful attempt to revive interest in the bench. So I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross, just a simple Celtic cross, to see what's going on with the book. But I also want to know, specifically in doing this reading, how Meghan views herself as a writer and how her publishers view her skills with the pen. The poisonous pen, some might say, given her letter writing skills. But we must remind ourselves this is just a tarot reading. This is for entertainment purposes. Nothing at all serious about it or my opinion. Please do your own research and form your own opinion on Meghan Markle's writing skills. And underlying energy of this reading is the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So that is something that has ground to a halt. And I would say that is sales, because it's Pentacles. The Pentacles have ground to a halt. This was meant to be slow and steady rise to a Pulitzer Prize or a Nobel Prize, and that knight on his horse has fallen off his horse. The horse has possibly had to be put out of its misery, and no harm intended to any horses or horse lovers, and it looks as if it has all come to an end. So let us see what is currently going on. What is the heart of the matter with this book right now? And we get the Empress. No, hang on. The Emperor in reverse. Sorry. The shininess of this light is a bit overwhelming even for me. The Emperor in the reverse. And that is, again, plans not coming to pass, not able to take charge, to control a situation. And the Emperor is, of course, male energy. Could be a publisher who is rather indignant at having to pay all this money. And allegedly she was given quite a large advance, nothing like Prince Harry's advance, but people have speculated, and it is all speculation and it is all allegedly, that she could have been given in the region of $500,000 or pounds, I'm not sure which, I can't remember, but that kind of figure for this laughably short and really atrocious book. The illustrations were quite good, but nothing memorable, really. So it looks like there's an angry emperor in the mix here who is very unimpressed with what has happened. An angry publishing house. But it also is, the emperor has a bit of a narcissistic energy about it always, especially when it's in the reverse. The ego that's gone out of control. And I think Meghan really did believe that she was a stupendously gifted writer, and the world was going to be blessed with this example of her writing, and she still is somewhat deluded about it. So 2 possible interpretations of that card. But let's see what challenge she is currently facing in her literary career. And we get the 3 of Swords in the reverse. This is terrible disappointment and heartache, the 3 of Swords. There it is. It's a very graphic card. This, I think it came out the last time I used this deck. This person literally being stabbed in the back, stabbed through the heart, but stabbed through the back at the same time. So you get the energy of betrayal and heartache in this card. I think it's very clever. This 3 of Swords, terrible disappointment. She's trying to get over the disappointment because it is in the reverse. She's still convinced, that Emperor in the reverse, still convinced that, as ever with Meghan, if she just keeps banging that drum, eventually people will fall into step and follow her and believe her. And there it is. She is desperately trying to convince herself and us that this is not a terrible disaster, and that it can be recovered. This book one day will be her brilliant literary legacy. And as Neil Sean would say, And so the underlying energy in this reading, and specifically I want to know what Meghan's motive was in writing The Bench. Was it really a love letter to Harry and Archie? Was it to make some money? Was it because she really believes that she is a fabulously gifted writer? Let's have a look and see what the cards wanted to tell us. King of Swords. And it does. The King of Swords, if ever there was a writing card, the King of Swords is it. Accomplished writer, accomplished spinner of ideas. The swords are all about the written word. And the King of Swords is very clear, very wise, visionary. And I think she genuinely believed anyway, we'll see if she still believes it. She genuinely believed that she had a career ahead of her as a writer. And I want to collapse in hysterics as I say that. And knowing what it takes to have a career as a writer. And Meghan Markle, certainly in my opinion, does not have what it takes. But anyway, there it is. I do think she honestly believed that, especially with the title of Duchess of Sussex, the Duchess of Sussex, she had the cachet, she had the talent, she had the wherewithal, she had the movers and shakers behind her, that she could map out a brilliant career as a writer for herself. It does look as if Prince Harry is going to be the one whose book gains some acclaim. Whether it ever sees the light of day or not, we'll have to wait and see. But Meghan's career certainly being come to a sticky end. So this card is telling me here is the underlying energy. But let's see, what is her focus right now with the bench? What is going on? Has she been wheeled out to save the day? And this is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And this is unfairness, essentially, that she feels that things have been unfair, that she hasn't got the acclaim that she deserved. But possibly she thinks that the publishers haven't put enough effort in, or possibly the publishers think she hasn't put enough effort in. But either way, there is the idea that somewhere along the line, someone hasn't done what they were supposed to do, put the effort in. Six of Pentacles is about really putting into a situation, being fair, being equitable, generous with your time, with your effort, with your money, with your talent, sharing it. And so she's feeling, I think she's feeling robbed, she's feeling hard done by, she's feeling unappreciated, all of those things. She does love to feel those things. We see this often with Meghan Markle, all in my opinion, of course, but there it is. I think she's very focused on the fact that this hasn't quite worked out the way it was expected to work out. And possibly this Emperor in reverse is saying, you owe us. You owe us some money there because the book hasn't sold the way we thought it was going to sell. So let's see what happened in the recent past with the bench. We know a lot of people have had to suffer through listings of it. There's the Queen of Pentacles, and that very much is a Meghan Markle energy to me. She does always wear a rather absurd hat. She's got that fedora that she used to wear relentlessly in her yachting days, and alleged yachting days. It does look like her climbing the ladder, climbing the literary ladder in this case, and attempting to launch that brilliant career. She was certain it was going to happen, and I think the publishers were pretty convinced of that as well, and mistakenly so, of course. And let's see what is going to be happening in the near future with the bench. And there she's going to be wheeled out, Knight of Wands. It's going to be a bit of a circus, I would say. The Knight of Wands in this deck, in this particular deck, does look rather like those merry-go-rounds, the old-fashioned fairs that we used to go to as children, and you would ride on those wooden horses that would go up and down, round and round. So I do think she's going to be wheeled out by the publishers, and enthusiastically so. She did manage to look quite persuasive in her YouTube appearance. And even though her eyes looked a bit dead behind it all, behind the enormously expensive jewelry, her eyes did look a bit terrified, a bit rabbits in the headlights there, I thought. I don't know what you think about it, but it did look rather, she did look rather alarmed. Although she managed to pull it off quite convincingly, and so she's going to be wheeled out. The show is going to go on, the road show, the book tour. There is a card, if ever there was a card to describe a book tour, Knight of Wands. He travels. He doesn't stick around for long, but he travels town to town, city to city, YouTube channel to YouTube channel. You'll see him there. Wands, of course, PR. She's going to work really hard. And I would say that the Emperor in the reverse wants his Six of Pentacles. He wants his pound of flesh from her, and so he is going to send her out, and there are going to be more of these appearances. And if you can hear snoring in the background, I'm sorry, that is my dog, not my dog. I can call him not my dog, a dog that is now in the house with us, a new dog come with our family member who's moved in, and she is sleeping on a chair while I am doing this reading, and I hope that this reading hasn't bored her to tears, but that is this. She's had a lovely long walk and a big eat, and now she's sleeping. Hopefully that's the reason she's snoring. So let's see how Meghan feels about herself as a writer now. We know from this card that she thought she was brilliant way back when. How does she feel about herself now? She feels as if she's got something to learn, and that's fascinating because it's not often, I don't think I've ever seen that energy with Meghan Markle, that there is work to be done. Pages are about learning. They're studying, they're students, they're young energies, they haven't mastered their craft. She hasn't mastered her craft, but she does think, because look at the way that page is putting that pentacle into their purse. She does think that if she puts in the effort, the Six of Pentacles, if she puts in the effort, if she does the book tours, it's going to be successful. This is still a path that will lead to success as far as she is concerned. It may not have yet. That Knight of Pentacles fell off the horse is dead, and no book is selling, but she believes, she does still believe, that there is hope for her and that this is the right path for her to follow. And again, I'm wanting to collapse in giggles because, again, as I say, I know what it takes. But Meghan clearly believes that she has what it takes. She just has to perhaps attend some writing classes. Apparently Harry and Meghan are going to financial classes, business classes, investment banking classes, and perhaps some writing workshops. Anyone out there who runs writing workshops, drop a flyer in the post box at Montecito. You never know, she may bite. How do the publishers feel about her as a writer? Temperance in reverse, and that is the card of being quite unhinged. They don't think at all that she has what it takes. She has quite a distorted view of her talents with the Temperance card in reverse. Distorted energy, unbalanced energy, unhealthy energy, major arcana. So it's a major no-no from the publishers. They won't be publishing any more of her works. They are going to try and squeeze their last cent out of this book, and then remainder the rest. But no, they don't feel that she has what it takes, and they aren't going to be spending any time incubating that talent at all, even though she thinks that they are going to, and that she's worthy of being supported and encouraged and taught and helped, showing the ropes. They are not interested with the Temperance card in reverse. That's a big no from them. So Meghan's hopes and fears for this book. And we get the Hermit in reverse, and it's interesting that the Hermit is in a coffin, and I did say that her literary career does look like it's dead. Hermit in reverse is coming in from the cold. So even though this person is in the coffin as we speak, she does hope that this person is going to rise from the coffin and reappear. It's going to rise from the dead, quite literally, which is normally the energy you get from the Judgment card. But because of the way these cards are illustrated, Hermit in reverse, rising from the dead, coming back to life, back mingling, circulating again, major arcana. She's very hopeful that this book is suddenly going to get a new lease of life, and people are going to be reviewing it and buying it and viewing it positively. Again, after her whirlwind tour on that horse, that horse, no more, new horse for the Knight of Wands, and off she goes. And she's quite certain that she's going to make this happen. She's going to revive the fortunes. Flog a dead horse, shall we say. There we are, one of my many lame puns that I'm capable of, and especially when the lights are out. So, the outcome for Meghan and her book, The Bench, and her writing career in general, The Fool. Well, it looks as if she's going to start on a whole new journey. And my heart sinks when I see that card, wondering what book she's going to be writing next. There was talk when the news burst upon us, upon the scene, that Prince Harry was writing his memoirs. And there were 4 books in that mega deal with Penguin Random House. So it does look as if she isn't going to be daunted. She isn't going to be, she's not going to be intimidated by the fact that this has been a failed venture. She is going to start her next venture. The Fool is going to start off with another book. And heaven help us, there was talk of a wellness book. There was talk of a leadership book. Harry and Meghan writing a leadership book. I would actually buy that book, I think. I would buy that book and keep it somewhere, say, in a bathroom. I don't have 16 bathrooms, but I would put it in a bathroom for people to read. And so something new starting. A new venture with Meghan. Always new. There the hat is. Same old hat. And so one thing you can say for her, she does know how to bounce back. And it does look as if we have more reading material to boggle our minds, and certainly the bench boggled mine when I heard Meghan Markle read it, even though I had the words in front of me. And as I say, I am reasonably literate and fairly old, in fact quite old, an experienced reader. I struggled to find any sense in the bench. But perhaps I am just not as talented as the King of Swords there as a literary critic. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and brace yourselves for the next book by Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, the Duchess of Sussex. And I'm going to leave this reading now and see you on the next one.